Welcome back to Talking Fitchburg. Joining me this morning, Tony Hartman, one of the alders here in the City of Fitchburg, and Erica Koopmeyer, Sustainability Specialist,
Nice to
City
see you,
of
Jeremy.
Fitchburg. About time you got on the show. We've been
Yeah.
wanting you on here, and then no, you got to be gone or doing this or doing that.
A little
staying
vacation
busy.
got in the way.
Unbelievable. I think you can take off from here. This show is every day. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think you should have Eric on for a week straight.
I think she should be the host and replace me if you ask me. But that's
The sustainability show.
Yeah,
Once a
Right.
month.
Yeah, I think so. That would be
Well,
great.
I like to see your reusable coffee cup. I'm just gonna put mine down for a moment
Every
and
day.
say, well done.
Every day.
Yours
Ignore-
is made of paper, though.
Yes.
It's, yeah,
Mostly.
You can recycle that
I
one,
can
right?
recycle the
There you
top.
go. Oh boy, you see, if you want to point it out, nobody would have noticed. You blew it. Well, let's get to the real topic here, what we're talking about today, and it's solar power, and a great event coming up as well. So kind of key us in to what's coming up here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're super excited. The Resource Conservation Commission is going to be hosting a solar options forum coming up in October, Wednesday, October 19th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Fitchburg Public Library upstairs in the large conference room. We're going to have a panel of solar experts, hopefully a couple of solar owners from Fitchburg. And we're going to be talking about all the various options in solar photovoltaics, which is, powering your house with the sun to get some electricity out of the sun. Now is one of the best times to be investing in solar. The prices have come down dramatically. The payback periods are less than 10 years, and Tony can hop in on that message because he knows a whole lot more than I do about
Well,
that.
I got a tough sale at home. My wife, she, excuse me, she was, we looked at this probably 10 years ago, and she's like, oh, over 20 years, never mind. She's a tough Germanic, it's got to make sense. Now it's under 10 years. It's crashed. 79% reduction is what the federal government says. And so there's really almost no excuse not to look at it hard if you expect to be on the planet for 5 years or more, or your grandkids. There are a lot of reasons to do solar, but I think the economics are almost always number 1 or 2 on everybody's list. So.
What would be a selling point to try to get somebody that's on the fence about it? What pushes them over the edge? Obviously, the time frame of the payback is huge, but what are some other benefits maybe now when you get it kicked off?
Yeah, when we're talking about the cost, there are some federal tax incentives out there that are going to pay for about a third of the cost of the project. Those are set to go away at the end of 2019. So that's definitely motivation to take a look. On the state level, Focus on Energy has some 0% interest loans too to help you kick your project off in a more affordable way. So, right now, there's a lot of good financial reasons. Long term, there's always the environmental benefits, the carbon reductions, the improvement in air quality and public health. And then, there's also less reliance on fossil fuels. So, moving into the future, this is a really good way to stabilize your energy rates. The electricity rates are going up. So if you buy into solar, that's a way to really stabilize how much you're paying for electricity because you know what it's going to be.
I think that last one's key. You control your own destiny. You are your power company. So
I think that's important. Absolutely. Tony, talk about the installation process that goes into this, because there's various sizes, whether you put it on the roof, whether you put it on the ground, what kind of, what goes into this?
Well, I'm sure Erica will talk about what your options are. If you live in a shaded place or an apartment, you're not going to put it on your own roof. But I think what is most people don't know is you have pretty much a quick audit. People come out, take a look at your roof. They pull out what's called a solar pathfinder, which is this bubble looking like giant, compass. They'll go up on your roof and they will take a look at your just the position and attitude and altitude of your roof, certain pitch that's ideal, and those types of things. They can all be dealt with. You don't have to chop down all your trees, but if you live in a really shaded place, you may want to look at something, like a community solar or a solar farm option. I would just say that most people can get at least a few panels up, and the typical house to power your entire house needs to do about 5 to 10 kilowatts of installed. And what that means is that you're looking at Oh, you'd have to have a good-sized sunny area to do 10, but that would pretty much cover all of your needs in Wisconsin. You will get roughly 1,250 kilowatts of generated power in a year. And I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but, it's an area that be like the size of your driveway, for a typical pad out in front. So it's a good chunk of your roof.
Well, and I've done my own little research on it as well, and there's some home value that adds to it as well, which is awesome, I think. But the community solar part of that, why don't you kind of quickly break that down? Because I think that's important here too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice option. Like Tony said, a lot of people have shaded roofs or they live in a condo or apartment complex and they're not able to install on their own. Community solar is a great option where you're investing in a solar project off-site. Some people call it shared solar. It's kind of like crowdsourcing a solar project, right? A bunch of people come together to invest and make a solar project happen, and then you reap some sort of return on your investment. Right now, MG&E is partnering with the City of Middleton on a shared solar project. They're nearly full, so if people are interested, they should contact MG&E to subscribe. There's also some other options through Legacy Solar Co-op, and we're gonna cover all of those community solar options for people and how they can invest, and let them know what it's all about. We're also going to be kicking off a survey about community solar. We're trying to find out what the residents of Fitchburg think about potentially the City of Fitchburg hosting a community solar site on some municipal property or a public-private property or public-private partnership. That's a lot of P's. So there's a lot of investigation, a lot of conversations going on, and as we talked earlier, there's a lot of opportunity right now with the costs coming down and really making sense to help the Fitchburg as a municipality also lower some of our energy costs into the future. Also wanted to mention we do have a couple of solar installations if people want to look up at when the next time they come to City Hall. We do have some photovoltaic panels up there. We've had those for about 5 or 6 years now, and then we have a few out at our Public Works Maintenance Facility. If you're dropping off some yard waste or recyclables down there, take a look next to the cornfield.
There you have it. And you can, of course, check out the event on October 19th to learn more about solar and kind of projects. And, of course, you can always contact Erica anytime with any questions. Erica, Tony, thank you so much for joining me. We've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Talk Fitchburg.